the 6 tests you need to take for a long, healthier life. The reality is I want to live to 100 years old. Not just to reach a number, but to be there for my kids as they grow up and my grandchildren, and to live a high quality life as long as possible. But here's the truth. Longevity isn't just about what you do, it's about what you prevent. And if you're over 35, there are 6 tests you need to do to make sure you're stacking the odds in your favor. Hi, I'm Laith, and I've helped thousands of people optimize their health so they can live stronger, longer, and disease-free for as long as possible. And today I'm sharing 6 essential health tests that you need to do if you're over 35, because prevention is the key to longevity. So I've been researching this topic of longevity and how to be able to live a longer life for many years now. And most of the stuff I'm recommending today isn't cheap to do. You probably want to prioritize what to do first. And in order to do that, we will need to go through your family history and see what's common between most of the people that have passed away, and try to find commonalities between the cause of death, whether it was cancer or heart disease or Alzheimer's. And if you find a commonality between them or more of that popping up, then that's probably where you want to start. So if you find that a lot of people within your family and your extended family have had heart attacks, then the first step would probably be to look at your heart and see if there's anything there that needs to be fixed or optimized for the future. Because even if it doesn't show up now, but there are signs of it happening and it's not a danger yet, in 30, 40 years from now, it will be the cause of your death most probably. So you need to look at your family history to customize this towards your ability. So here is the list in no particular order, and I said you would probably rank these based on your family history, but the first one is a coronary calcium scan. And heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women. This test measures the calcium buildup in your arteries, which is a major indicator of heart disease in the future. So if your family history has heart disease, this is probably where you want to start. Second thing that you want to look at, again, in no particular order, is cancer screening. And cancer screening can mean quite a few things, but cancer kills 1 in 6 people worldwide. And early detection can be the difference of living a long life and dying early. Regular screenings is essential to put in your timetable to make sure things are running in the right direction. And this is something I witnessed firsthand when my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer, that we detected it very early. And it was an easier path, not an easy, but an easier path to treat because it was still in the beginning phases. Now, what does cancer screening mean? Specifically, we're looking at doing tests that might detect different types of cancers. And again, this is specific to your history, all right? So if you have breast cancer, then you would possibly go screen for that. If you had lung cancer, doing scans of the lungs, blood tests as well. There's quite a few different screenings, and a doctor or your GP would be able to help more with this. But that screening specific to what you're more at risk for would be the smart way to go. And we want to be strategic with what we choose, because like I've said, this isn't cheap to do, and most insurances, especially where we are, won't allow for that to happen. So you're going to pay out of pocket, but think of it as an investment for the future, giving you a roadmap of things that you might need to do sooner rather than later. The third one is a colonoscopy. Yes, not the most pleasant thing, but having said that, for people above 35, maybe even 40s, and I think the recommendation is people in their 50s, but from what I've read, maybe around 45 is where you want to start doing this, is something that you want to screen for. Colon cancer is probably the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths. And it's probably one of the most preventable ones if it is detected early. And the only way to detect that is doing a colonoscopy. So be uncomfortable for a few hours rather than suffer later on in your life with something that could have been prevented. The fourth one is an ApoB cholesterol test. Once upon a time, they would do cholesterol tests to see your HDL and your LDL, but now science has advanced and it does something called an ApoB cholesterol test. The reason for that is your standard cholesterol test doesn't tell you the whole story. ApoB test measures the particles that actually cause the plaque buildup and lead to heart disease and stroke. So if you do care about heart health, this is something important. And like I said, if there is a history within your family of this, then this is something that you might want to prioritize. The fifth one is a DEXA scan. It's a DEXA scan. It's a more advanced way of doing your in-body test where it has 2 purposes. The first one is measuring your body fat, muscle mass, and your visceral fat. And the second one is assessing your bone density. So as we age, especially within women, bone loss increases the risk of fractures. So as you get older, if you don't have muscle mass on you and if you aren't staying fit, you're bone starts to decrease in size and becomes fragile. So you'll notice older people, if they kind of bump into a table, they'll have a fracture, and it's a very simple hit, but it impacts the bone quite a bit. So this is another thing to keep your eye on over time, and there's easy ways to be able to address that if that is the case. The last one is a brain imaging or an MRI scan. And our brains determine our quality of life, and yet most people don't think about brain health until it's too late. An MRI can help detect early signs of Alzheimer's, dementia, and strokes, allowing for early intervention if needed to even slow down that process. It's an expensive test, so if you can afford it, it's something worth doing. Yes, I know that some of these scans can be intimidating, but knowledge is power at the end of the day. And the earlier you catch a problem, the better your chances of preventing it from getting worse is more likely. And while tests are important, your daily lifestyle is still the most powerful tool you have to prevent diseases. Keeping your body and fat levels healthy, staying active and eating right, and getting enough sleep will go a long way in preventing disease, even if you don't test for them. So if you are serious about living a long, high-quality life, start getting these tests done and keep a benchmark of these so you can track them over time. And if you do want help or need help optimizing your health, message me and I will be more than happy to help you build that plan for the future. And don't forget, subscribe for more content if you enjoyed this on longevity, fitness, and health optimization. And if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter below, do that now. I send out an email once a week with I like to think it's useful information, with useful information and resources that you can use on your journey to a better, healthier life. Until next week, enjoy and stay active. YouTube seems to think you will enjoy this video, so press here. It's based on your history of what you've been searching for, so press on that. And if you do enjoy my content and find it somewhat useful or amusing, press on my face over here and you can subscribe to my channel.